Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, my name is Shoaib and you guys are watching me on my YouTube channel Shoaib Honey with the purpose of reshaping your career, reshaping your future. Let's discuss about the asylum. Okay, now if you go on TikTok, YouTube, anywhere, the discussion on asylum is a huge hue and cry. And Irish people are on road, English people are on road, and they are demanding governments to send these illegal immigrants to back wherever they come from or their relevant countries. The problem starts basically from 2008 when the world was under recession, and especially because I belong to the education industry. So the cause is that Ireland stopped giving visas, especially students, okay, and then England opens the visas. Even the IELTS was not mandatory. Students, those who cannot come Ireland, they went to England, paid the very cheap fees to the bogus colleges, okay, and England got lots of students from all around the world, got lots of money, injected the economy, the economic cycle started running, and but England banned on these students who came in English language colleges or the bogus colleges that they cannot work. Now what happened, they have spent lots of money through their agents, solicitors, and somehow they landed up in England on student visa. Because they were not genuine students, they find it difficult. So they came through Belfast to Ireland and applied asylum. Now I'm talking about 2008. So that was one step. And the second step is now that people are, wherever they belong to, they use English channel between France and England. They lay down their legs in England, apply the asylum, and now things are getting changed. Very tightened. Rishi Sunak or the regime is making tight, okay, to send them Rwanda. So now they started fully from there to come to Ireland using Belfast, and they applied asylum. Resulted accommodation crisis, job crisis. Problem started in the little towns because they all went into the B&B, no space left in B&B for the tourists to just accommodate themselves. Now the summer has nearly started, okay, and normally summer we see in Cork and Ireland and Dublin, everywhere there are lots of tourists, but now we are seeing them very less. Even in our college as well, we were trying to bring some students on summer camp, but we couldn't bring because we are also suffering from accommodation crisis. Even if we have 4 or 5 accommodation centers, okay, for students, okay, we have some Irish families, but still we are suffering from that.
Ireland cannot take any more people in. We have to accept the fact by doing what the government has done previously, it has seriously affected our towns and villages. I'll give you Mallow for an example in my own constituency in Cork. Mallow has no beds for the night for tourists. So the knock-on effect for that, you have refugees who are in accommodation in Mallow town, and that's fine, but you don't have tourists coming in taking a bed for the night in Mallow town. You don't have them buying dinner in the local restaurant. You don't have them buying breakfast in the following morning.
So it means that those Irish who are protesting, they are definitely right, okay, but the problem is that because of these protests, because of these things, okay, everything is being brushed in the same pant. Like those who are coming as a student, those who are coming on work permit, general employment permit, they all are painted as the migrants. Now there is a difference between illegal one who come through illegal channel and those who are coming through proper channel, applying student visas or work permits, and they're giving their skills to Ireland. There should be some difference.
Immigrant, any person who comes to live permanently in another country. Refugee, a person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disasters. Asylum seeker, a person who has left their home country as a refugee and is seeking asylum in another country. There is no such thing as an illegal asylum seeker, no matter how they reached our shores.
Now see, there are so many videos, there are so many, the protests is going on. You can have a look.
Children, our babies, no, these men are not to be in Tally, no, for the safety of our baby girls and boys, not a hope. What are they here for? What is it? Men fleeing war, come alone, that's what I want to say. Men coming from war, come with their women and children, what are they here for? How's the Irish?
There was already so much crisis in terms of accommodation and different problems, but the government invitation for asylum seekers that fuel the fire. And everyone around the world, they try to come Ireland from different channels. See the interviews.
I came from England. I live in England around 15 years. I work there in black market. But when I hear about Ireland and I hear about the justice minister in Ireland, They open for everyone to get a visa for asylum seeker, and I think it's a good country to get a visa from here.
So do you think then the reason you came to Ireland from England was the opportunities that were available in Ireland?
I think yes.
And what about Ukrainian refugee? Once Ireland took them lots of benefits. They were normally kept in 5-star hotels, superb B&B. Even Irish families, those who wanted to accommodate them, they weren't given lots of money. Like their children were admitted in schools straight away. Normally in schools, if you want to admit your children for the schools, even for junior cert, for senior cert, for colleges, everyone has to wait. But they come straight. They directly go to the colleges, universities. Everything was given them. Even the money was even more than €400. Normally the asylum seekers, they get I think 35, 34 or 40 euro max, but they were given lots of benefits. So there was a special program for them, and that was also a major burden on the economy. See.
So as part of the European Union, we've agreed a package of $50 billion of assistance to Ukraine in recent months. And we've also agreed to open negotiations to have Ukraine join our European Union to provide a long-term guarantee of security to its people, its economy, and above all, its freedom.
He's doing a really good job in America, isn't he? Being the big man. Spend the Irish people's tax money. No permission. No consultation. Irish, sure, yeah, just 50 billion. Ireland has loads of it, sure. We're spending 43 million a month on IPOS centres already. Yeah, come on ahead over, we'll give you a free house. Oh, by the way, you get a free medical card when you come here. Plus, we'll spend €800,000 bringing your pets over. Yeah, and you can also go home on holidays and come back. We're very accommodating Irish people. Leo, is there nothing between these ears? See the wee monkey playing the cymbal or the drums in your head? You have to start listening to the people in this country.
Ireland's population is 5.2 million. So as of January this year, the amount of Ukrainian refugees in the last 10 years that have come in are 104,000 Ukrainian refugees. So this is about 2% of the population is now Ukrainian refugees that have just come in the last 2 years.
That's wild.
So there'll be these these centers that are formed in little villages of like 200 to 500 people. And then they're just bussing in all these migrants into them and just completely changing the population. And it's all men that are getting shipped into. It's like very few women into these areas. And they're just completely reshaping the structure of these like villages across Ireland.
Do people feel like this refugee program is working for them is a legitimate question that people should be able to ask. Now asking that to say that they're all rapists and thieves and things like that, that would be a generalization,
Completely.
right? But if you're saying that this is the importation of some people who are, who are going to stay here permanently or might change my culture and you get to determine who my neighbors are, people might be upset about that if they don't feel like their will is a part of that.
While Ukrainians are going back, nearly 25 to 41,000 Ukrainians have gone back or they are planning to go back because the government has reduced their weekly wage or weekly stipends, whatever you say. Now those who are genuinely really refugee, they are still here, but those who just took the benefit of their refugee status and come for getting the weekly the €400 and the other benefits, once they know that the payment is going to be reduced or it is already reduced now, they are sneaking back. So they were not genuinely refugee, or they were not affected by this war. What about those who are still in England or somewhere in France or Germany or Turkey or Baghdad or Iraq or Afghanistan and still planning and has paid money to some of their agents or solicitors to lend them in England or Ireland? Okay, guys, if you are in England, do not try to come anymore, because you guys will be sent back from here to England again, because guards are this time on Belfast checkpost and the guys are stopping people to come and enter to Ireland without valid visa.
There has been a significant increase in the number of people crossing the Irish border, and the Garda National Immigration Bureau has significantly responded to that. One of the main operations in response to that is Operation Sonnet, and that involves the deployment of Garda National Immigration officers supported by local officers performing checkpoints on various routes across the Irish border. So I suppose as a result of that operation, we have a large number of detections of people who we have refused leave to land in this jurisdiction because they do not have the required documentation or visa requirements to be in the state. This week alone, we've significantly increased that operation and we intend to increase it into future. And this week alone, we've returned 47 people back across to the UK as a result of that operation. Some people who come across the border will go to the International Protection Office and claim international protection, and many of those will result in the Minister for Justice issuing deportation orders. The Garda National Immigration Bureau expects a significant increase in deportation orders over the course of this year into next, and as a result of that expected increase we have implemented Operation Fern. And Operation Fern is a significant operation to increase the number of deportation orders that will be affected by the Garda National Immigration Bureau over the course of this year and into next.
Then you will be sent back from Ireland to England and from England to Rwanda.
If you get the news today,
yes,
you would be able to accept people tomorrow.
Not only tomorrow, even now.
It's here the migrants will land. The hostel can house 100 of those Britain plans to send to apply for asylum here. They could also try to go to other countries, but not back to the UK.
I think it will be good economically for the nation. There is nothing that is better than human capital.
This man didn't want to identify himself because he's against the deal.
Where are you going to find the jobs for these people? We ourselves are like we've graduated, but we've not yet secured jobs. We are out there searching for jobs.
Rwanda has welcomed other migrants, Africans who were stuck in Libya trying to get to Europe. This is a temporary haven for them while they sort out next steps. They could choose to settle in Rwanda. None have. For those here and those coming, will Rwanda be a detour, a dead end, or a new home?
Dublin's fair city, the ugly reality of migrant life. Under plastic sheets, in a township of tents, tucked down a stinking back street. This is home for Khafar.
It's freezing, mate. Just wake up 6 in the morning, man, we're shaking like a monkey, mate. Simple as that.
Who has lived half his life in London, but is now starting again in Ireland.
Because in UK, don't treat you right way.
And now they threaten to send people to Africa.
That's it. That's not right. Where is the human right? That's the question. Where is the human right? The only human right is in Europe. I'm from Afghanistan. I can't go to Africa because that's not my country.
Nobody here wants to go.
That's it. Nobody wants to go.
Here, amid much misery, we found evidence for Ireland's claim that the UK is exporting Britain's migrant crisis.
From England to Belfast, North Ireland, and I took a bus from Belfast to Dublin.
And nobody stopped you when you...
No, never.
And why didn't you want to stay in the UK?
In the UK, because we hear that they will send us back to Rwanda. And I was terrified to do this.
This is famously the land of 100,000 welcomes. But those reserves of hospitality are being stretched. And just as in the UK, there are powerful politics and strong sentiments in play.
Last year saw anti-migrant riots. Extremes are exploiting tensions.
We've no toilets, they no running water. That's not our problem. But we have footpaths, we should be able to use them.
But even those who welcome asylum seekers say enough is enough.
It's just not on, it's not nice, it's too much. We're sick of it. Look, you can't move around.
But we do know we have to work with our European Union partners.
Ministers from the two governments met today, though without a resolution. Critics say it might suit both sides to blame each other for wider failures.
The British can now claim that the Rwanda policy is working. The Irish government can blame it all on the British. That's a bit too convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, to an extent, people sleeping rough on the streets of Dublin. Some of them may have come from the UK, some may not, but their situation is extremely serious.
Nowhere in sight is salvation for these migrants, who told us whichever shore they land on, all they want is a country to call home. John Ray, ITV News, Dublin.
So as a student and genuine migrants, especially on the student visas, coming for study, working as a skilled worker or on general employment, what are you thinking? You must be thinking that after watching this video, that what are our takes on these things? Should we come or not? So let's see that what are the sentiments or the English or Irish people says about that.
Immigrants are taking our jobs. I don't think so. I think they're taking the jobs that you lot are too lazy to get off your ass and do. And the thing is, you listen to an immigrant tell you that immigrants are the problem. How stupid are you? To me, immigrants are like the Mr. Muscle of this country, yeah? They love the job you hate.
Immigration's still going to come in from Africa and all over the world. We may be able to stop it from Europe, but again, we're a small country, so we need to look after our own, and then we'll start looking after others. But if we can't look after our own, why should we be looking after others?
Where I used to work, I was the only person around me who spoke any English. All the rest of them spoke either Lithuanian or Polish. So I had no one to talk to at work.
Listen, if people want to come here and contribute, let them in. As long as they're not rapists, burglars, robbers, fine, let them in, of course. We're multicultural. Look at the British Empire. India, South Africa. So we got a right and we got an obligation to let some people come in, I think.
Let's have people coming in who have a specific qualification that we need. Not just people that are going to stand around drinking, defecating, urinating in our town.
And the final take home from this video is...
Now it'd be very easy to think that the world was filled with just very angry, very hateful people. However, this week, a lady in Carlo's life was saved thanks to the bravery and just selflessness of two young men. Zachariah and Camille, two Algerian nationals living in Carlo, spotted a lady in distress in the river. She had been subject to an argument with a male who apparently is known to her. We don't know the full details yet, but he got so angry with her, he threw her into the river. This lady was not able to kind of swim or look out for herself, so the two guys jumped into the river and they held her until emergency services arrived. I'd say, I know there's a lot of hate out there at the moment. I know there's a lot of kind of anger out there at the moment, but let's all just try and be a bit more like these boys, and let's be more selfless, more caring, and just less angry.
These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean, if there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. You do understand, they created the problem that they're now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was.